everyone, I'm Barbara and this is Mrs. Faraway Stitches. This is my very first Flosstube video and I'm joining you from a small village in Bavaria in Germany. I'm so excited to be finally part of this community and share my stitching with you. At first, I want to tell you a little bit about my stitching journey. I learned how to cross-stitch in school in Germany in the early 1970s. That's how old I am. I seriously started stitching in the early 2000s when White Ada was the thing to go to and everyone worked on one piece at one time. Around 2010, life got very busy for me and I just stopped, packed everything away. Until 2022, when YouTube randomly suggested a Flosstube video. I had no idea that Flosstube even existed. But I clicked and I was hooked. Suddenly there was Etsy, hand-dyed fabrics, threads, and this amazing community. And I learned something revolutionary. You don't need to work on just one project at one time. In fact, you can have many. I now have almost 100 WIPs. And the fact that my husband is incredibly generous and always encourages new starts and new stash doesn't really help. So that's about my cross-stitch journey. And now let's have a look what's on the menu for this floss tube. So let's start with our mini finish parade. The first thing I want to show you is this one. Oops. This is called The Prince of Peace and it's from Primrose Cottage. It's stitched with none of the called for threads. All of the threads are just pulled out of my stash. It's a mixture between DMC and classic colorworks, and the fabric is a mystery fabric as well. It might be a Zweigart, even weave Lugana 32 count in the colorway Platinum, perhaps. And I started this one as my Christmas Eve start on the 24th of December 2025. Christmas Eve is in Germany a big thing. It's the day we gather around the tree, we sing Christmas songs, we give us our presents and we go to church. And in the evening when I was home again, I started stitching this. And it took me only a few days to finish it. It was finished on, let me have a look, the 27th of December. It's really elegant. I like that very much. In fact, it has a companion piece. This is this one, The Lord is My Shepherd. It uses all the same colors and the same fabric. And I thought of stitching this for Easter. Let's come to our next finish. Isn't that the cutest fox ever? It's from the animal trio, the winter animal trio from Puntini Puntini. And I think there is a polar bear and a reindeer in that pattern as well. And I want to stitch them all, but I finished this one. This was my winter solstice start. So I started it on the 21st of December and it was finished the 28th of December. Can't I get that straight? It's stitched with all the called for colors, which means this is everything is DMC except of the little leaves. I think that's a week's dye works. In the colorway Kutsu, could that be? And it's stitched on a Zweigart printed vintage fabric. 32 count linen. In German, it's Stein, which means rock, but I think it might be stormy night in the US and in Britain. Isn't it so cute with that little birdie? Finish number 3. You all know what this is. Of course, it's a prairie schooler Santa. Many people stitch it, and I try to finish one every year. This is my third one. The others are up the wall already, at least at Christmas time. And I started this one at the Jingle Ball in 2024 and finished it on December the 31st, New Year's Eve. It's stitched with all the called for colors. It's all DMC on Weddingen Sieb linen. It's a linen 30 count. And I don't like the frame, this green border, so I never stitch it. Finish number 4 is one of my favorites. This one, The Nativity Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. I saw it at Nashville Needle Market in spring 2025, and I immediately fell in love with it. I had to have it. I ordered it at 123 Stitch with all the flosses, which are Week Style Works, Classic Color Works, and there might be thrown in Gentle Art for good measure. I'm not quite sure about that. I started it during May Mania, which I like to call having fun in May. And actually, I really wanted to have it on my wall for Christmas, but obviously it didn't happen. I finished it on January the 3rd. And I really like the little stars that are specialty stitches, and some of them are little charms. I'm still fighting with holding that so you can see it. Really sweet. It's the very first nativity scene I stitched. Finish number 5. Oh, thread. This is Sweetly Saying Valentine's Day from Primrose Cottages, and it's the Valentine's piece for my husband. My husband gets something stitched for Valentine every year because it's so generous. And actually this year I wanted to stitch the Valentine's Quaker from Primrose Cottage, but then this came out and I really liked it so much with the colors, and it looks so sweet that I decided to stitch this. It's stitched with the DMC conversion. The original is in cotton and whatever. I can't get those threads in Germany. And so I switched to the DMC conversion, and it's stitched on 16 count white Ada opalescent. I think you can see the sparkle a little bit. It's really sweet. And he'll get it on the 14th of February, of course. Coming to my 6th and last finish for this little finish parade. This is a finish I'm really proud of because I did a lot during January. This is Summer at the Shore by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's part of the series A Time for All Seasons. I think that was 2022, might be. And I've started it in summer 2023 during my summer holidays. And when I started to stitch on it, because it was called on my Whipco board for January, there was only the bird, a little bit of the light tower, and a few of the waves and the feet of the bird. And everything else I've stitched during January. And this looks so pretty. It's stitched with all the called for flosses, which is a lot of DMC and two gentle arts. Picket fence, that's the white one, and Crystal Lake is a gray blue. I think it's this one. And the fabric is Picture This Plus Ancient 32 count linen. And there it is finished. This was my little finish parade. And now I get my stuff for my whips for January. Of course, I started the new year with a new start. And I chose Long Dog Sampler Opus Magnusson. Isn't that a stunning sampler? It reminds me so much on depictions of the Book of Kells, the way the people are depicted, the beasts, the borders, the rich jewel tones. Absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I've never seen it stitched. It's a real biggie. It's 356 wide and 395 stitches high. So I really don't want to think about when I will finish that. It will take several years. And I've got a small start, and that's that. Just a little bit of the border. It's stitched in my own sulky conversion on 20 count Ada in the colorway Vintage Country Mocha. It will be great once it's finished. The next piece is my snow day stitch. Actually, where I live in Germany, we don't have that many snow days. We don't have much snow at all. And usually these are only a few days during the year. But this year we have a lot of snow. And my snow day stitch is a Luca S kit. So sweet. Pufnita, the owl. And this is how far I've come. I've started the snow day stitch in 2024 when we had, I think, 2 days of snow and a few days more in 2025. And then quite a few snow days in 2026 till now. It's stitched with all the kit materials, which is Zweigart, 16 count, and I think that might be anchor thread. And it's coming out really beautiful. It's not ironed because I just took it out of the frame to show it to you. The next piece is my second Whipco call for January, and it's Titanic from Heritage Crafts. It's a kit. And I started it for my husband, who was so generous to give me a Lowry stand 2 years ago. And so I decided to give him something back. And of course, I chose that's a full coverage with a lot of black. And well, let's see when he gets it. This is where I am. And actually, that looks much better on the screen than in original. And I stitched a lot of the gray over here and a little bit of the clouds. This is 28 count even weave, white. I don't know the maker, it's the kit material, and I think the threads may be DMC. It's all of the kit material. Okay. My next piece was started in 2023. Many people stitched it, all but me finished, I guess. It's Summer Refreshes by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I started this as my travel piece. The piece I take with me when we go onto holidays. We usually go by car, even if we go to southern France or to Mallorca, which is a 2-day or 3-day journey. And I like to have this for the journey because there's only 3 threads. So it's easy to carry around and it's not a difficult stitch anyway. And I'm really not sure why I just couldn't finish this. Where is my board? Where's my board? So it's stitched with DMC on Zweikart 32 linen Belfast in the colorway, I think it's Smoky Snow, Vintage Dune in German. And I actually wanted to finish it in January, but then came along a little seagull and another little bird I show you later. My next one, which was my third new start for January, was a stitch along. And it's this one, Ocean Wonders of the Sea, and it's by Climbing Goat Designs. And it's a wonderful stitch along. It's really, really pretty. I like the sea motifs, and the thing is, for me, it's a start along. I put it away. I'll tell you why. I love everything about it. It has a ton of beautiful colors, not only a lot of DMCs, but also a sulky, glow in the dark, and DMC Edgeval with a little sparkle in it. And it's really, really pretty. And I've started it on a magnificent fabric. This is a hand-dyed fabric. I ordered it in Finland. It's the Call for Fabric. It's done by Finn Stitches Factory. And so you can see it here. And it's a 32 count Murano, Lugana, even weave, opalescent. The color is ocean. But the problem is, even if it's a 32 count, which shouldn't be a problem, I just can't see the holes. And I tried to stitch. You see, there is a little bit of the bird. I tried it a whole evening. I had to use a magnifier. I had to use 2 lights, and I still really struggled. And so I decided, nope, that's not a piece for January or for February. That's a piece for the summer when there is really light outside. And so I'll put it away till summer, and I don't do the stitch along. I take it as a start along and do it when I have fun with it. Yeah, and after I couldn't stitch the planned stitch along in the rest of January, of course, I didn't have any whips except of 100 to stitch on, so I had to do a new start. And I saw something on Instagram which really blew me away. And that's that. It's the Snowflower Diaries, the Swan, and the Awakening Garden. Isn't that so pretty? Romantic, elegant. I love that. And I had to have it. I bought it the same day. I started it the same day. And that's where I am. The swan is finished and I'm working on the flowers. And I really, really love stitching on it. Well, these were all my pieces I stitched on in January. There were 9. Three of them were finishes, and the rest will go on. And now we come to plans for February. Give me a little time to put my things away, and then we'll see again. So let's come to plans for February. First, my WIPGO goals. I'm doing WIPGO the 4th year now, and the first 2 years were real catastrophes because I never got my plans and my goals finished. And then I changed the rules. In the meantime, I tell myself it's okay to touch the piece. May it be a finish, may it be 2 days, may it be one thread. If I touch it, I met my goal. And since then, I have a lot of fun with WIPGO actually. And my first called WIPGO piece is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, the Arctic Animals Club. This was a stitch along 2 years ago. And then I started it during having fun in May. But I had to do a restart because the fabric I chose was much too light, and so you couldn't see the white at all, and I had to restart it, which I did last year in May for having fun in May, and I've got a pathetic start. Actually, it's really pathetic because I really like this piece and it's so sweet. And I like Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I've stitched quite a few pieces of them. And that's everything I have. The little polar fox, I guess it is. Arctic fox. It's called Arctic fox. That's everything I have. It's stitched mainly with DMC. I think there is one glow in the dark. And the fabric, I think you can see it sparkle. It's really nice. It's from Mika Stitch. That's a German dyer who sells on Etsy. And it's a Murano even weave, 32 count. There are no names on it. It's opalescent, of course. That's why it sparkles. My second piece for WIPGO is also a start for having fun in May, but it's a start from last year, 2025. And it's a kit, a Riolis kit, and it's called The Era of Dinosaurs. I love stitching dinosaurs, actually. I don't know why. And when I saw this piece, I was immediately drawn to it because of the colors. Because these are not the usual colors in greens and browns, but they are so lively and so wonderful. And so I decided to stitch this. I have only a tiny start. Didn't take it out since having fun in May, since May 2025. And this is where I am. So that's actually, you have seen I'm a center starter, and that's actually somewhere here. Oops, you can't see that. Somewhere in the middle here. So yes, I'm really looking forward to working on that. Well, other plans. Of course, we are going to have spring, and I want to have a spring piece to stitch. And I decided to stitch Gathering Violets from Misty Purcell Luminous Fiber Arts. I did already stitch one of the series. There are several. I stitched Gathering Snowflakes, and that's finished. And I really like those smallish motifs, and I like to stitch them with silks. And these are the silks I've chosen its African Violet from Waterlilies. Pretty. I really like stitching with silks. They are sometimes hard to come by in Germany. Next plan. This should have been a start last month. Ink Circle's Reflection of Amsterdam. I didn't start it because I had to have another new start, and you know which one that was. Of course, The Swan and the Awakening Garden by the Snowflower Diaries. I wanted to stitch this as a memory piece for my son, who just started to work in the Netherlands, and I thought that would be a nice gift for him. And well, that's it. I have two colorways of silk for it, and I'm not quite sure which one to take. Perhaps you might comment and tell me what you like more. Both are from XU Design. One is antique blue. It's more like a turquoise. And the other is midnight blue, which is a rich, dark jewel tone blue, like sapphire. Which one do you prefer? Just comment. This is the picture. I think I'm actually, this looks more like the light version, but I think I'm actually drawn more to the dark version. What do you think? And then I asked my dear hubby to choose something for Easter, and he chose not one but two pieces. I like them both. I'm happy to start them. Will I finish them for Easter? Nope, not a chance in the world. The first he chose was A Basketful of Love from the A Time for All Seasons series. This is number 4. Actually, I'm quite happy with this because of course, I just finished one of the series. And the other one, it's a rather big one, is Spring from the Four Seasons series of peacock needlework. And he was absolutely hooked with the peacock. It's a really nice piece. It's rather big. You can't really see it, but it's 220 wide by 150 high. It's not a bad, but it's a bigger one. And of course, I won't finish any of them for this Easter. But I told him I'll finish them for Easter. I didn't say the year I would finish them. Well, if you see this, I made it through my very first Flosstube, and so did you. If you liked what you saw, if you want to see more of my almost 100 whips, then please like, subscribe, and comment. Ask all the questions you want, I will answer them, and then see you soon. Stitch on, take care, and all the best to you. Bye bye.